Hey everybody, I'm Eric Oberembt, and you're listening to Be Authentic or Get the Fuck Out. We talk about real shit, what's on our minds, and don't give a fuck if it makes you feel a little uncomfortable. So sit back, strap in, and get ready for some real shit. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Be Authentic or Get the Fuck Out. I'm your host, Eric Oberembt. Housekeeping, we don't have any fucking sponsors, so share this shit. Nobody pays me a nickel to do this. I do it because I love it. So if you love it and you get something out of it, please take the time, share it with your friends, share it with your network so other people can hopefully get something out of it. Okay, that's out of the way. My guest today, I'm super excited about my guest today. We've been trying to get this put together for a while. I've always wanted to have an opportunity to hang out with this gentleman, and we cross paths, but we never get a chance to sit down. That's one of the reasons that I started this podcast, was so that we could do that. So I want to introduce my guest, Chris Scoville. Chris, thanks for being here, brother.
Finally, thank you.
Dude, what's really funny is that it was going to happen anyway, but then you won it at RoofCon, right? Like, how funny is that?
I was off in the distance, and I'm like, first off, I don't ever win anything. Right. So I'm off in the distance, and all of a sudden, Chris Scoville, and I heard it. I'm like, dude, you know, when you don't ever fucking win anything,
right?
You're like,
what?
Dog outside, food,
yes.
Got to go to the bathroom.
Yes.
I go fucking running
What
across RoofCon.
Right.
I pushed thousands of people out of the way to get to you.
Yep. And then somebody goes, what do you win? I want an interview with Eric. Oh.
No, I was fucking, I didn't give a fuck. Dude, it could have been a fucking pen.
Right.
I'm like, dude,
excited
I won. I
about it.
fucking
Yes.
won something.
Yes.
So yeah.
But I'm excited because, you know, what's cool is that this industry gives you opportunities to kind of meet people that you wouldn't have normally met. And for whatever reason, when we first met, it was for financing stuff and, you know, and whatever. But like, I just felt like the first time we even spoke, like we just kind of connected, but I didn't really know why. And I was just like, that's my kind of dude, right? Like, I hope eventually we get an opportunity to get to know each other better. Probably won't, but it'd be cool if we do. You know what I mean? Because that's just fucking life,
that
right?
was years ago.
Years. That was at least 4 or 5 years ago for sure,
it's been
right?
a while.
So I'm really excited to be able to sit down with you.
And we did it here, and we're both in Texas.
Right.
We're not in Florida. We're
right. So because I was coming to Florida, and we were going to do a thing, and like this just all worked out really, really well. And I'm just excited that we get to do it.
Yeah, it's great to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Fuck, where do we start? Right.
How do we unpack?
How do we
unpack the unpackable?
We've got a lot of stuff that I know that we talked about that we wanted to go over. And you know, I'll just start it off with this. I want to thank you for becoming open about your past, right? You know, I spend a lot of time on this show talking about my past and unpacking other people's histories so that other people can learn, you know, from that. And you and I have had some really cool, interesting conversations of how you didn't talk about your history and your past for whatever reasons, and we can get into that. But recently you have, and you've started doing that. And there's been some repercussions for you and some hard conversations that you've had to have with family members and things like that. But there's so many people that look up to you, right? And see you as a leader. And there's nothing that connects people more than hardship. Right. And shit that we've been through together. So I do want to touch on that and kind of get into just kind of where that came from, where you started with that, and how you got to where you are today.
Awesome. Great. You know, what's interesting, you go through times in life where you look where you are, and by no means am I calling myself an influencer. But with all due respect, if you do a good job in the industry, if you care about people, if you help people, people look up to you. Whether they're asking for business advice or you just become confidants with people. So the more and more I get into this and I start branding, you know, me, Chris Scoville, the more and more I learn about the industry, like, hey, I came from a lot of traumatic shit in my life. Some of which I haven't talked about. I don't know when it's going to be okay to talk about it. I don't know if it ever will be okay to talk about it. However, the stuff that I'm unpacking from inside of me that I feel like if I unpack this and I can tell the story of how I overcame an addiction, a drug addiction, as a working professional in the banking industry and have became successful, a level of success. I would say I've reached a level of where I want to be. No, I'm never going to be there. Like, I'll never be there. I'm too hard on myself. However, if I can tell my story and I can tell people that you can fight through it and you can win and you can overcome things, it might help that one guy.
Yep.
And it's happened. I've had people reach out to me in DMs just lately saying, hey, thank you for sharing that. It touched me. I just got the chills.
Yeah.
Like, it works. Now, the flip side of being incredibly vulnerable, authentic, real, it ain't easy stepping up to a microphone, looking into a camera, and telling people some of the shit that you unpack out of your life. But if you could touch or help that one person and maybe help them get through addiction or whatever particular problem they're facing, dude, you've done your fucking job. Save one person's life.
I'll tell you, the more you do it, the easier it is.
Yeah.
It just becomes part of who you are and what you put out there. And like, I don't even know how to have a conversation without telling people about it anymore. Like, I'll get done meeting somebody and they're like, God damn, you just gave me a lot of information. Oops, yeah, sorry.
I actually had an Uber driver like that this morning. He told me a little too much. I'm like, yeah, could you pull over now, bro?
Yeah, I need to go.
Like, it's great. And I don't know. I think I'm 52 years old, so I feel like I've reached a level of life like, A, if you don't like me, you can fuck off.
Yes.
B, my mom's old now, so the people that she thinks it might hurt their feelings are probably fucking dying anyway.
Right.
So does it really matter?
And even if
at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Nothing matters. Get it off your chest. Who wants to live with all this shit inside here, right? If you get it off and you help somebody else, it's all good, man.
Right. So you were a Coke guy.
Yeah.
Starting when you were how old, Bob?
I don't even know.
Young.
I look back and I traveled all over the United States. I was in the banking industry, wholesale, construction, to permanent.
But was it a
lending.
like teenager thing or like once you had money?
It would have been an adult. It would have been maybe later in my 20s type of a thing. You start getting some money, right? And it was wholesale mortgage lending, right? Out in California and working out in California and it just literally like go to work Monday morning as a professional and do what you do and get on stages and travel. I've been doing the stage and travel conferences and stuff for years. Friday night would come and it was the same habit. It was get the stuff, get back to the apartment, grab the guitar and be completely in whatever you do. And then Sunday start eating food at noon to get yourself cleaned up to go back to work on Monday. Yeah. And like, no, parents don't know, friends may not have a clue, people at work don't know, but you know, because you're living it. You're running scared. You're peeking out of the window paranoid. Like, it's a horrible, horrible existence. Now, when I stopped and got clean, I don't even know how I did it. I think that my body just got to a point that said, hey, staring out of a window paranoid is probably not good for you.
So that's how you quit. You just kind of...
Yeah, there was no intervention. There was no
treatment.
No
there
scary,
was
no nothing. It was, woke up and said, this doesn't feel good.
Wow.
It wasn't like God spoke to me and said, hey, Chris, it's time that you come back to Jesus. It was, this isn't good. This doesn't feel good. Something ain't right with this. And it was a walk away. And it was cold turkey. And it's never, ever been back in my life.
Do you still drink?
Very, very occasionally.
Yeah.
When I do drink, I'm all in.
Right.
Like, but I'm not a drinker. Like, I will never come home and just have a bourbon or have a couple beers with dinner. I might have a wine with my wife when she makes me. She's like, you're having red wine tonight. Okay, honey. You know, to make the food or whatever tastes good. But when we do, in the summer, it's a hot day and the margaritas come out, dude, I'll go and I'm all in. I'm an all in guy.
Yeah.
I'm all in. And like, we'll drink until the alcohol's gone. And then I won't ever touch it. Like, not a drinker. Alcohol.
But you still have the addict mentality when you drink.
And it could be just that day, and it could be gone for 6 or 7 months. But when I'm all in on the drinking thing, man, I'm good at it.
Right.
Like, there's good drunks and bad drunks. I'm like really good at it.
And so that's very interesting, right? Because there's a bunch of different type of people that are, you know, whether they're active in addiction or they're not, right? And the difference between you and I in that world, just to give insight for other people listening as well, is I did both. I loved Coke, but I did Coke so I could drink more because I would black out very early because I drink so much so fast.
Right.
So it was an ongoing
That
joke.
would keep it going.
Yes. And so it was an ongoing joke that Eric passes out at 10 or 11 o'clock.
Oh, no, that comes in the starter pack.
Yes.
You get the 8-ball and
Yes.
you get a case.
Yes.
And you better get a thing of vodka as well.
That's for like 2 or 3 in the morning. Yeah. To catch up.
That's the cocaine starter pack.
But me, I don't have the ability to have that one day of drinking and go all in and go fucking crazy and then not.
Oh.
Right? Yeah. The difference is, and this is something that we talk about in recovery in the program, is people talk about the term cravings, right? And a lot of people think that the term craving means like that I'm sitting here going, I could go for a whiskey, right? Like that you can taste it and whatever. That's not what I define craving as, and not what our big book and A and whatever defines craving as. What I define craving as is if I have a drink, my body reacts differently.
Okay.
And then because I have an allergy to alcohol, it craves more alcohol because I'm wired differently.
Wow.
So when I drink, once I have that first drink, I'm like, whoa, fuck, here we go.
Wow.
And I can't shut it off.
Okay.
So that same feeling that you're having, that you're all in and you're going fucking hard, whatever, I can't wake up the next day and be like, I'm fine. I wake up the next day and go,
I need that.
Here we go again.
No kidding.
Here we go again. That's why I have to completely abstain from alcohol.
Interesting. I did not know that there was levels to this game.
Yes, and because it's different because there are some people, and the scary thing is that people that are like me, right? They want to be like you, and they crave that because they think that like that's something that they can become.
Oh, the one day. I can have a one day. I can do a 1 day day drinking thing.
Yes.
Enjoy that day, turn it off, and go back in 6 months and try it again.
But there's so many of us that aren't wired.
Kidding.
We aren't wired that way. We're not built that way in our DNA.
I never knew.
Yep. And so I always make sure that when I'm talking to somebody that is in your position, right, that people that are listening don't go, ooh, fuck, I can be like Chris, because you might not be able to.
Yeah, no, not just that.
Right.
Let me tell you the after effects of going all in.
Right.
The next day is awful.
Oh, for sure.
And no, I could be, you know how you go through highs and lows in life? You're on, everything's just, you're on point.
Yep.
Your mind, everything's clicking. I'm very in tune when I'm up and when I'm down. And I'm up and I know when I'm in tune. I could be up and everything's clicking and life is good. And I have that day drinking thing. And you know what it does? It takes me down here and I'm down there for a while. It knocks me off my game.
Yep.
So to think that one day is worth it,
right?
It ain't worth it because it could knock you off your game for a really long time.
Yeah.
Before you can get back up to that high level.
And if you're a real alcoholic, you might not come back.
No.
You might not come back. Like, I know that if I went out and drank again today after 13 years and change of being sober, I would probably not come back. I'd probably end up in Mexico somewhere, and I'd probably die there.
Wow.
I don't think I could come back and stop because, A, the shame.
Yeah. Yes.
Right? There's no way that I could come back and show my face to all these people that I've tried to help, and you know what I mean? And the different organizations that I'm a part of and all this stuff. And to come back and be like, I'm back, guys. Can you help me? Yeah. You know, like, no way. I'd probably take my own life before I fucking did. I would drink myself to death before I would probably allow that to happen. So I know I've got another drunk in me, but I don't think I have another recovery.
No kidding.
In me.
And that's deep.
And I think that there's a lot of people that are in that boat. You know what I mean? So like, just for somebody that's kind of like different, like, you know what I mean? Like, you know that you can never do coke again.
Yeah.
Right? Like some bad shit would happen if you did, right?
Yeah.
But there's people out there that they want to be that. Right? Yeah. And so if you keep going out, and you keep coming back because you can't stop, that's when you have to have a real conversation with yourself, right? To be like, okay, that's not me, right? Like, I can't be that guy. Does that make sense?
It makes total sense.
Yeah.
You're like literally learning so much right now about this. Cause when I stopped doing it, I never thought about it. I never thought about being an addict, recovering, a story, the chemical, the imbalance, the psychological part of all this. I never had to because I walked away and I never went back.
Right.
So I didn't think about it.
Most of us can't do that.
Wow.
Most of us can't do that. Most of us aren't wired quite that way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I've had a lot of trauma in my life. So I think that because I'm a survivor of traumatic experiences, multiple, has made me to this level of, they say what God only gives you what you can handle type of thing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm that fucking guy.
Right.
I'm literally that guy that quote comes from.
So what's some of the trauma that shaped you?
I lost my dad at 17. I lost my godfather at 16. There was another traumatic event that I had done.
What was that like, losing your dad at 17? Were you close?
Yeah. Yeah, it was tough.
I can't imagine.
Yeah, I mean, yes, it's tough because when you're 17 in the 80s, the last thing you want to do is be friends with your parents.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're like, you don't think about hanging out with your dad when you're 17. You're like, oh, there's my dad. Right. And then when you come home from school and you find him, it changes your perspective, right?
Like, you found him.
Yeah.
Heart attack?
Accident, don't know. But anyway, it just, you come home from school and you find your father. It changes your perspective on looking back in your teens and thinking, man, I don't want anything to do with my parents. I got my friends over here, right? You're not thinking about that when you're teens. You're thinking about playing baseball, skateboarding, playing hockey, not hanging out with your parents, right?
Right.
So when you look back on it later on in life, can you change it? You can't change it. You just have to live with it. Like, what was your last conversation that you had with your dad before he died? I know what mine is. I was getting ready for school, and I think he just walked in the room to say good morning or check on me, and he scared the shit out of me. And I went, Jesus Christ, you scared me. I wasn't mad at him.
Yeah.
He just scared the living daylights out of me. That's the last thing I said to my father. Jesus Christ, you scared the shit out of me was the last thing I said. It's kind of funny now. I look back on it.
Right.
But yeah, man, that's just part of it. Like, that's just a nook of stuff that I've had to deal with in my life. And is that part of the reason why I escaped to drugs at one point in my life? Probably. I mean, we talked about me having a child when I was 19.
Right.
And I ran. Well, I was still trying to deal with the trauma of losing my dad. And have my mom and my sister that I felt like I was the man of the house.
Right.
Right. And then, oh my gosh, now I'm a father at 19. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to get my associate's degree and I'm going to become a cop. That's a good idea.
You look like a cop.
Yeah, right? Until I found out that cops get paid $36,000 a year and they get shot at.
Right.
So I was like, yeah, this is probably
that
not
doesn't
a good
seem like a fair compensation ratio.
Which leads me into how I got into this industry.
Sure.
Really interesting. So I got my criminal justice degree and an associate's degree from a small community college in New York, packed up my truck and moved to Florida and started building custom homes. I got into the tie beam business and the roofing and started doing custom homes. So that's what got me into the first kind of real construction side of this job. And then, of course, I was like, fuck this. I need to go figure out the financing thing.
Right. Yeah. That's hard work.
Yeah. Then I was like, well, there's got to be a better way.
Right.
These 4x8s in the hot sun, tie beams and rebar.
So were you from New York?
Western New York, yeah. Right in between Buffalo and Rochester on a little town.
And then you moved to Florida.
Yeah.
And you were how old then?
Man, that must have been, was it 19, 20?
So you moved right after your daughter was born. Like you fucking ran.
Oh, I told you earlier.
Yeah.
I ran. I'm scared to death, Like, what did I just do? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Real tough.
And so, not to dig, fuck it, I dig deep. So, what
if not, you gotta get the fuck out.
You gotta get the fuck out. I'll have to leave my own goddamn show. But what was it like then? Like, say those first 5, 6, 7 years with your daughter. Like, did you see her?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Was I a great dad? No, I don't. The definition of a father can be many things.
Yeah.
I wasn't there to raise my daughter. I know that I have regrets from it.
Sure.
However, I don't like to live in regrets.
No.
However, you do look back and you regret, and could I have done more? Absolutely. But I had to do what I had to do to survive, right? Yeah. I moved around a lot, worked for 7 different national banks, was in the wholesale construction and permanent business. And I know I'm supplementing right now. I ran, dude.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I ran. I was there for her birthday. Her mom used to call me, oh God, what was it? Disney dad, because I'd come into town and we would just have so much fun and she'd be so excited and we'd go to the park and we'd play and I'd buy her food and I'd stay in a hotel and we'd bail out and then I'd leave.
And then you'd leave.
You know? So, yeah, man, I've got regrets and it's tough, but you know what? She's a beautiful girl. She's got a sick, insane work ethic. I've been a great communicator as much as I can my whole life. And she's there and she lives up the road from me now. And I've got a granddaughter. Yeah. So we've worked on our relationship. Is it perfect? No, it's not. But she knows that I love her and I know she loves me.
Do you overcompensate on the grandkid? Because
I tried. Yeah. Here's the problem with that. My granddaughter's 11 and she don't want nothing to do with grandpa anymore. She's like at that age. I went to her 11th birthday up in West Palm at the little trampoline thing.
Yeah.
I went to go give her a hug. And that's when I realized my granddaughter is now going to be 18, like next year. Like, she's like, no, all my friends are looking. I'm like, but I love you. And she's like,
fuck that. I'd pick her up and fucking swing her around.
She's like, okay, Grandpa. I used to be cool. Like 6, and it happened fast. Between 10 and 11, it went quick, man. TikTok did it. I'm going to blame TikTok. We had a great relationship until she learned how to TikTok.
Really?
China.
You know what I had to get rid of in my fucking house? YouTube.
Really?
Yes. So for anybody watching that has kids, we let Tegan, we'd let her, because her friends would watch.
How old's Tegan?
7.
Okay.
So she would have like little friends that would watch some YouTube bullshit at their house. And I always gave her shit because I'm like, why the fuck are you watching some other fucking kid play with Barbies? Go play with your goddamn Barbies. Like, this is the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life. So she started watching this YouTube, and I'm not the dad that, like, I was never going to be the dad that, you know, like when I was a kid, remember when The Simpsons came out and there was those weird families that would be like, you don't get to watch The Simpsons. It's like, fucking settle down. Like, take it easy, bro. Right. So I always said that I was like, I'm not going to ever be that dad. I'm not going to hide shit from my kids and whatever. Right. What I learned was she started watching this fucking YouTube and these different like shows, and she was a cunt.
What?
She got nasty fucking mean the rest of the day.
So she was learning from...
I don't know, but it put her in a shitty fucking mood, and she was an asshole. And me and my wife are sitting there, and we're like, she's being a bitch. Like,
at that age?
At 6, 7 years old, and I'm like, what? Let's cancel this then. Like, let's take, you got to test, right? And figure out what is it. And we literally were like, we're taking YouTube away. Wow. You can still play with your Switch, with your Nintendo thing or whatever, but we're taking YouTube away because you're an asshole. And then when you watch that, totally different little girl again.
What was being programmed into her?
I don't know, but I think she was watching some shows with like, 13, 14-year-old girls.
How to be mean, how to be nasty, maybe.
Right? Something like that. I don't know, but like she completely changed because she's the sweetest little girl, and she would be nasty to us. And we're like, nope, you're done. No more. You don't fucking get it.
That's great.
And she had a breakdown in a fit for like 2 hours.
You took her drug away, man.
Yeah, it's exactly what it was. And I was like, no more. Like, you're fucking done. And she has been so much better. Like, we play games together now. Like, we have game night and we play with cards. And you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, honey, I'll go fucking play Barbies with you. I don't give a shit. Like, that's what I'll do for you. But like, you have to figure out what that stuff is. I have no idea where that came from.
Yeah, I don't
why we went down that rabbit hole. But anyway, just talking about spending time.
Yeah,
with your daughter. Oh, and then she's 11. Yeah. I get it. But I think it takes like a few years and then they come back.
Yeah, it's been a roller coaster ride.
Yeah.
And we're quite open about it. Matter of fact, I'm living with some guilt again about it because I'm so busy doing all these things that I'm trying to do. It's too much, man, to be honest. I'm doing too much. I'm just a human being. I'm doing too much. I can admit it.
Yep.
I'm addicted to doing too much. That's what I'm doing right now, and I'm doing too much.
Yep.
I need to clean that shit out of my life. Because I need to get back to the things that are super important, and I'm making steps towards that right now.
Yeah.
First is accepting it.
Right.
I've accepted the fact that I'm addicted to doing too much shit.
Right.
So I took out my drug habit, and now I'm, what am I going to do? Oh, I'm going to go build a software company, and I'm going to go work for a bank, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to be speaking, I'm going to do a podcast. Like, what?
Right.
Right? Why haven't I called my daughter and had lunch with her
It's
Saturday like I said I was going to do so we can talk about shit and fix our fucking relationship?
Right.
Absolutely. Another form of fucking running is going to do too much shit.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm going to replace this with this, and I'm going to replace this with this.
Right.
Oh, but this is healthy. No, it ain't.
No, it ain't.
You're just still missing the fucking mark, man.
Because you're always sacrificing something to do something else. So
Exactly.
once you figure out what's the most important to you. Tell me about the software company.
So this is, one of those things kind of tough. I know how to frame this up.
Yeah, I know.
So I came up with an idea a couple years ago, right?
Yep.
And I said, I met this guy out in California. His name is Alex. I've actually sold the company to him. He runs it 100% now.
Okay.
Or that's my disclosure.
Yes.
This company was created and it's given to this guy out in
Got
California.
it.
He owns the LLC and he
Got
runs
it.
it. So I came up with this crazy idea that we were going to help contractors get reviews, referrals, rewards, and retention. We were going to call it the R4 method because contractors don't typically do a good job after the sale
Correct.
of doing those things.
Yes.
So we started building this thing. And I'm like, oh, this is cool. It's fully automated. This works great. How are we going to get contractors to it? I'm like, we built this software thing. How are we going to sell the thing to the thing, right?
Yeah.
So I said, I got an idea. Let's build the field of dreams. Is if we build it, they will come.
Okay.
And my partner was like, you're fucking nuts. And I'm like, you're young. You need to go watch Field of Dreams and Kevin Costner.
Right.
Like, 'cause he's young. His name is Alex.
Have you not seen this movie, asshole?
This guy that I gave the software company to is fucking, dude, he's so chill. We're so complete opposite of each other. But anyway, he's one of those California guys,
Yep.
computer programmers, quite brilliant. And he goes, all right, cool. So let's build this directory and we'll do it for free and we'll put them on this platform. And then we'll have the ability to pick up the phone and call them and say, hey, you're on our platform over here. We'd love to introduce you to this R4 method thing.
Right.
So we started building it, and then a couple hundred people joined onto the platform, and it was called the Contractor Blue Pages back in the day.
Yep.
And then we changed the name to Blue Pages Pro because like Yellow Pages,
Yep.
Professional, Blue Pages. You know, you see
Got
the
it.
name thing. We shut down R4 method because we realized that the real business was Blue Pages Pro,
Okay.
where Blue Pages Pro, to kind of explain what it is that Alex runs over there. I love it. Is this fucking...
Sorry.
It's so good. I know. It's we're gonna look back at this in a couple of years and laugh. Is essentially it's Zillow for contractors, right? Consumers connect with contractors, no lead fee, no friction. Because nobody like you. Oh, Angie sends me lists. Angie's great. Nobody really likes Angie Modernized, Thumbtack.
No.
Anybody that's a lead aggregator selling you third-party leads.
they're
It
garbage.
ain't your system.
No.
We wanted to help contractors build their own lead capture tool, a landing page, a microsite, build some sales tools into it like financing, plug, a lead form that goes directly to you. And it's your system to build as a foundation so you can drive traffic back to this thing to connect, convert, and close.
Okay.
So that's what we did. We built these tools on this landing page, and we call it the Blue Page, and it's really cool. And then we help contractors drive traffic to it, like different bundles, right? Like
Right.
bundle A, bundle B, bundle C. So that's what Blue Pages is. It's basically Zillow for the home improvement space where consumers can connect directly to contractors with no lead fee and friction, which turned out to be the business. So everything else got shut down on that. Now we've got 15,000 plus.
So where's the money come from?
There's an annual subscription model. So there's a freemium, there's a pro light, and a pro plan. There's 3 levels
That the
of a
contractor's
listing.
paying to
Annual
be a part
subscription
of.
to be a part of it. Yep.
Okay. I'm still a little confused because you pitched it to me a long time ago, and then I'm the same way. Like I have so many things going on that I forget about what I talked about, and there's so many things out there, right? And I kind of want to. I normally don't get into worky stuff,
that's fine.
but I think that this is actually kind of important. And just because you're a friend, I want to explore it a
Let's
little
do
bit
it.
for people listening.
Yeah.
Because I do want to understand it a little bit. So
Sure.
it's a platform. And so who's directing the traffic to said landing page, and why would someone pay for the upgraded versions?
Sure. Great question.
Thank you.
Free gets them the listing.
Okay.
We connect it to their website, which will help them algorithmically through
Okay.
everything, because at least they're on another directory.
Okay.
So they're on a directory. So there's immediately a free person is like, cool, I'm on a directory, and it costs them absolutely nothing.
Got
no
it.
harm, no foul.
Got it.
Pro Lite is a smaller version of the Pro Plan. Let me explain what the Pro Plan is. It's a fully automated landing page. It's a website. We call it a microsite.
Okay.
That's it. It's one page. The contractors have about 7 or 8 different organic methods to drive consumers to that as a lead tool. Here's the best way to explain this, how it's happening right now. Lead Scout and TC Backer are partners with Alex's Blue Pages, okay? TC Backer's team goes out there and puts a sticky note because they're in the community
Yep.
selling.
Right.
Sorry, we missed you. Free roofing inspection, whatever his offer is.
Yep.
there's a QR code. It's a dynamic QR code that's from the Blue Pages. They click that and scan it, takes them to the Pro plan. The consumer comes home like, oh man, we missed it. We need this XYZ product, right? It goes to the Blue Page. On the Blue Pages, 12 months, same as cash. Apply now. Click the calculator, apply, approval. Approval goes back to TC Backer. TC Backer calls the customer, says, hey, Mr. Smith, congratulations, you're approved to $100,000. That's just one of the sales tools on it. The other one could be an offer form that's connected to Hatch or an automated drip campaign. They filled out the form for a free roofing inspection. Then the nurturing and all that stuff happens from the Blue Page. Project Map It, Company Cam Showcase Galleries. All these tools are built on it. There's a video on there. Hey, it's Ty Backer. We're out here in the area right now. We're here offering free roofing inspections.
Okay.
Fill out that form. We'll get in touch with you soon. Have a great day. So think as a consumer, you come home, you scan.
Right.
The video comes up. You watch the video and go, oh, we actually need this XYZ home improvement product. This guy was here today. We missed him. It drives it back to there. So it's a landing page, and then we develop all these different.
And then it's integrated with those 3 or 4 different companies. Or like with the Company Cam and the Map It.
We integrate those software tools directly into it.
Got it.
It's automatic. So if you're a Company Cam user, if you're a Roof R, Roof UL,
right.
If you have any of those sales tools, financing, I guess we've got so many different partners that we integrate with on that thing. So it's really cool. Engage.
I should call Alex and get more information.
You should call Alex. Yeah,
I should
check
call
it out.
Alex and get more information about this.
Alex is doing good. Alex is doing a great job.
I mean, will I get along with Alex?
Alex is a great guy.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad he's your friend.
That's so great.
I'm such an asshole.
We could
sorry.
do this. No, we could do this for like an hour.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
too
This
bad
is
the
fun.
podcast isn't
Yeah,
longer
yeah,
because
yeah.
we're just getting into the good shit.
Yeah, we are. That's hilarious. Okay, so one of the questions that I always ask people is, because I know you have a lot of shit going on that you do, but when you sit back and you take a moment to reflect on everything that you're doing today and people that you're interacting with, what would you say is, what's the thing, and it can be work, it can be personal, it can be whatever, right? But what is the one thing that you're the most passionate about right now? If you had to drop everything, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What are you the most passionate? It doesn't have to be work and whatever, but like, what are you most passionate about? Because that's what I want to like wrap up with.
Passion's hard to define. I would say the biggest thing that's, if I had to define passion, it's the feeling inside of me or a calling.
Yep.
So let's define passion first.
Okay.
Because passion's different to everybody. I got a passion to go eat an ice cream sundae. Ain't gonna fucking do it.
Right.
My passion and a really interesting calling is to find my way back to God.
Okay.
And
what does that mean?
It's happened in the last 2 months. My wife and I, and it's for a reason. There's obviously turmoil in my life and I need something settled, right? My wife and I have been going, we call it going to church. We sit on the couch and we go to Evolution, whatever it's called. It's church, it's online.
Okay.
The guy's really freaking cool.
Okay.
And we sit there and we watch a sermon and then we go for a walk and we talk about the sermon and we've connected like we've never connected before. So when I say passion, and it's like when you've had God in your life and you've pushed him away for all these years, it's really weird going back. It feels weird. It's almost like you're embarrassed. Like, I pushed you out of my life, man. But you open up that door and he's there. I did a walk and talk about this last week, and a ton of people, they're like, dude, thank you for sharing that.
Oh, I saw it.
Yeah, so many people reached out. So I say I got this passion to find that peace again. Not that I'm going to be a holy roller, because I'm a sinner and I'm good at it. Yeah. However, I have a passion right now because I see that I need it and that he's there for me, and it's helping my relationship with my wife so much. We didn't have any problems, but what I've realized is that time that we spend on Sundays is bringing us super close together, and we're communicating on another level.
Love that.
So that's the passion right now. And it isn't wake up, and it's not driving me. It's not like the business passion.
Yeah.
This is like a personal development relationship thing, and it feels really freaking good.
About finding serenity.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Serenity is like my buzzword and has been ever since I got out of rehab.
Yeah.
It was the first tattoo that I got on my arm after I got out, was a serenity symbol. I'm not like, I talk about this quite a bit, but if it wasn't for Alcoholics Anonymous for me, I wouldn't have been able to find my higher power, my God, my whatever you want to call it, right? Because I have a real I have a real disdain for like organized religion, right?
That's why I say we go to church on the couch. I can't go into a church.
I have, and it's a me problem. Whatever, right?
I've been shunned when I've had traumatic things, and I went to the church, and they turned on you.
Yeah,
I got a problem with churches,
and I always have, and because of that, I pushed it all the way,
I'm right there
very
with you,
much,
brother.
right?
Right there
and
with you.
when I got to AA, and I met my first sponsor. And he looked at me and he goes, don't be scared. People are talking about God in here, blah, blah, blah. You know, and I was like, okay, because I'm about ready to fucking walk out the door,
exactly,
right? And he's like, no. He goes, you get to choose.
Choose, yeah.
You get to choose. I'm like, whoa, wait, what? Like, I don't have to believe in your shit?
Yep.
Like, I don't have to do that? And he's like, no. He goes, you get to choose God of your understanding. And I know there's a lot of people watching that are like, it's fucking bullshit. There's only one God, you know, like whatever. And it's like, I think that pushes too many people away from finding that peace.
Right. Serenity.
Right? Serenity.
Yeah.
I used to, when I came home from treatment, I couldn't sleep because I was so anxious all the time because I couldn't take my Xanax anymore. Right? I couldn't take my Xanax. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't whatever. And instead of counting sheep, I laid in bed with my dog by myself. And I sat there and I repeated the only prayer that I ever have said in my entire life. And it was a serenity prayer.
Serenity prayer, yeah.
It's the only thing, and I would repeat it until I fell asleep. It was the only thing that allowed me to go to sleep.
Brought you that peace.
It did. And it was the only thing, I think that there's so many people watching that what they're searching for is that peace.
Right.
They're searching for the anxiety to be gone. There's nothing fucking worse than anxiety.
No, dude.
It hurts so much and it disrupts everything in your life.
Yeah. I've been, the last few weeks, I'm off. I know when I'm off.
Right.
You try to swallow. Good luck. Why does it hurt? Why do I feel this tension in here? Anxiety, man.
Yeah. And so, everything that I've done since then, working with coaches and whatever it is, has all been working on mindfulness, calm, breathing techniques. Like, have you got into breathing yet? Like,
the other day, my wife goes, outside 15 minutes now. And I did. And I walked in, I gave her a hug. I'm like, thank you. Thank you.
You know who you need to be introduced to is my coach, my life coach guy. His name's Clay.
Yeah.
He lives in Thailand. He's from Australia, lives in Thailand, and I meet with him once a week on Zoom at 9 p.m. and that's his 9 a.m.
Right.
Right. And he's actually, he's stopping doing like one-on-one stuff other than with current clients, but he's got this 12-week program and I'm doing that too. And I have some of my employees actually doing it at the same time. So we're doing it together, but a large part of it is learning different breathing techniques that like really influence the way that you are able to, figure things out, talk about things, like have things come up that were in your subconscious that you didn't even know about, like some shit that you would really fucking like I want to introduce you to him, like,
I'd love it
because I think that you'd really love this program. But it changes how you operate, and having a conversation with you, I think that this is so powerful for people listening because work and business and money are one thing, right? But if you don't focus on your health and your spiritual and your mindfulness and all the stuff that comes with that, none of the other stuff can really grow. And even if it does grow, you don't get to enjoy it.
Not at all. Not one bit.
You don't get to enjoy it, man. So like anybody listening, like take the fucking time to work on your personal growth so that you can become what you're supposed to become.
Right. Man,
You know
breathing.
what I mean?
We walk around and take these shallow breaths all day and we don't realize it because we do it. And then if you can learn to breathe, you feel it just go, man. It's like
when you learn to breathe through your stomach too.
Yeah.
Right? Isn't that weird?
I don't even know if I'm doing it right.
But then
I know a difference.
Yes, but then you catch yourself. Now whenever I like do like real breathing stuff, I automatically do it and it completely changes everything.
Great. Yeah.
Hey, so the way that we finish every episode is I give the floor back to the guest because I want you to, whether it was something that we glossed over, we touched on that you wanted to expand on, or something that you wanted to talk about that I forgot. I want you to leave the audience with something from Chris that, like I said, that either I forgot or you wanted to bring up. What do you want people to remember?
I just would say anybody that has listened to this and understands what we're talking about, and if you are, where am I supposed to look right now?
Not me.
Oh, you? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if I was supposed to break the fourth wall or something like that.
Yeah, it's me.
Like if you're experiencing anything in life, like I called you on a Saturday and you took my call, and I just needed a release, man. I needed to know, hey, here's the situation. I'm dealing with this, and we talked it out, and I walked away. I'm like, cool, that's good. I felt a little better. If there's anybody out there that ever needs my help, whatever I can do, like I'm not a guru, I'm not your fucking guru, but I'm a good ear, and I've got a huge heart, and I'm here to help you like other people have helped me. I'm here for you, whatever it is. If it's business, if it's personal, if you don't know me and you feel like reaching out and getting to know me, come on into my world. I'm here to help. That's all I want to leave that with.
That's what everybody should aspire to have is have the ability to be okay reaching out and
no judgment
and be okay being the person that's reached out to.
Yeah.
Right? Even if you don't think you're qualified, you're fucking qualified.
Just picking up the phone for somebody is being qualified.
Just to listen. Absolutely. Dude, Chris, thank you so much for taking the time. Thank you for coming over here and spending time with me. I'm glad that we got to know each other a little bit better. I know that this will only further our relationship, and anything that I can ever do for you, obviously,
just keep picking up the phone, brother.
Always answer the phone when you call. Everybody, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening to another episode. If you got something out of this, please share it with your network. Please let people know about the show. We're just trying to help people. And remember, be authentic. Get the fuck out.
You can't be authentic. Get the fuck out if you can't be authentic. Get the fuck out if you can't be authentic.